Shabad ya Rasul Kareem, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ati'ullah, ati'a Rasul, ulul amri minkum. And always a reminder for myself, ana abduka al-ajizu da'if wa miskeen wa zalim wa jahal, and but for the grace of Allah that was still in existence. Alhamdulillah, the holy month of Qi'dah and the immense realities of 11, which in reality is the Divinely mirror of one and one, and it is Basirat Alam Jalala and many realities that open in this understanding, that if people don't have this understanding they don't understand what these tariqas are talking about of realities, that La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. One is the ocean of Allah and the Creator, La ilaha illallah, and nothing exists within that ocean of the Creator but the Creator. And creation exists within an ocean named Muhammadun Rasulullah. And the immensity of this reality, that the one from the might and majesty of Allah, the power of the Divine reflects upon the ocean of creation, and creation comes into existence by virtue of that reality. And this is the immensity of 11 and its realities. InshaAllah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. InshaAllah. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa Basira Surat al-Fatiha. InshaAllah. So what do we have from online families, inshaAllah? As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam.
Sayyidi, when we are stepping away from our will and desires, why have our difficulties increased?
I have no idea. This is the whole struggle, see, everything is about the struggle. There's no why and there's no how. Why is Allah, you can't ask Allah why, and there's no reality in understanding how. Where's that coming from? From the radio broadcasting. Ah, yes. Okay. It's my own voice. One second guys, somebody's playing my YouTube and I'm hearing myself. Inshallah. Lots of interference tonight. Some bizarre noises, everything. So alhamdulillah.
As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, is there something called destiny swapping? Can someone steal someone else's destiny or star?
No, I don't know about this stuff. Like, what is that? You're watching movies? Sci-fi movies? It's a Jet Li movie.
So the last week's talk on neuroscience and energy was really mind-blowing. I've written everything you have said, that for every field of which one has a degree, one can relate it to spirituality. I'm wondering how that can relate to me as a secondary school teacher. Last week I had a very tough week trying to discipline difficult students and students who are not interested. At the end I felt drained, but later you suggested doing wudu and keep that state and pray salatul wudu to shield the energy and to make madad. I have started to apply it so that I can keep my calm. Thank you also for suggesting prophetic medicine for eczema.
Wa alaykum salam, alhamdulillah. That anytime we deal with people then always keep a state of wudu, all your energy practices. That's why we teach these realities. They're to be used in all of our applications of life. So whatever field people are working in, they have to know how to keep their wudu, they have to have their taweez, they have to have their spiritual protection. And anytime you're dealing with people especially so, because people have lots of negative energies, willing and unwilling. Children are like sponges, so they bring the energy of home. So not all conditions are always favourable and good for people, so they're like a sponge and they bring that energy into the environment. So most definitely it's required to keep the wudu, keep your taweez, keep your energy practices so that not to become sickened and affected by the energy of people. So this is the importance, and that's why we say if scientifically they know that devices and now they say even people, everything affects everything, that we're in an energy field. So mechanical devices that are man-made energies, then they must have an immense effect upon our reality because they're made by men, and usually men with no good intention. So all of this brings our consciousness to a higher level, because some people have faith and they say, oh look, the shaykhs they know, we follow what they teach. Other people are going to school and say, we are scientific people and we don't know what you people talk about, but now scientifically they said, no, we're all interconnected, and yes, energy fields have a great effect upon people. So how they govern themselves to build their energy and defend their energy from all around us and everything around us, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, is it possible that shayateen hide and be stuck on specific senses?
I don't know what that means. No idea. Senses, like your five senses, the shaitan sticks on your seeing and blocks your seeing, or again maybe just the language is not clear. But everything is possible. So when it comes to devils and shaitans, then their energy affects everything. So whatever we're trying to ask or whatever question we're trying to convey, it's based on energy. So yes, the energy and negative energy is going to affect your seeing, your hearing, all your senses. none of the reality of your senses will open until the negative energies have been taken away and we protect ourselves from negative energy. And when people don't understand protection, then that same negative energy whispers to people, gives visions to people and begins to affect people, to overtake them. So the battle is for humanity, where negative energies they want you to be the mobile phone, where they talk to you, they cast into your mind and everything. A while back we described something, if you pull that video out we described that the next generation of phones that are coming are based on what you think. And some people probably now can start to experiment that we believe that the shots they gave people were certificates of vaccination, IDs, and the 19 is what? 1 is A, 9 is I. The certificate of vaccination IDs that is related to AI. With these shots that they gave to people, there's a technology within them. So none of it was related to a cold and a flu. That's why whoever took it, it didn't defend them from cold and flu. The doctors came out and said, actually they don't have antigens inside them. So they got sick, people got sick, antigens. But what people did say, and scientifically maybe one day it'll come out, they have a nanotechnology within that. And that technology was supposed to be induced upon people, and as a result of that technology within people and that technology interacting with the AI softwares that are being launched in everything, like true AI softwares, not our database of our resources but completely true AIs that all of a sudden launched this year, is communicating with those nanoparticles and your phone. And as a result of what you think, ads are appearing on your phone. So start to think of things and see how it appears on your phone. Where you start thinking, oh yeah, I want a lobster dinner, I want a lobster dinner, but say it quietly, don't say anything out loud. Just say, I'm thinking, oh you don't really like a lobster dinner, I don't like lobster. But give that example and you'll see your phone start showing you restaurants with lobster or ads for lobsters. And it's not something spoken because everyone already understands that what's spoken definitely the phone was hearing and then sending you the ads. Oh I need a new suitcase, I need a new suitcase. All of a sudden you're on Facebook and all these suitcase ads are starting to appear because it was listening to you. But the next generation is the integration of the certificate of vaccination ID 19. And that's why all merchants displayed that information because they were very eager to inoculate people, because the people are the cow and the cattle now, you are the product and things have to be sold to us. So this technology is opening now on this earth. People try it, begin to think of things and see how it appears on your phone. So whatever is coming, then these require energy training. That's why we talked in the last few days about the energy fields, purifying the energy fields. It's important for people to go back to what we talked about and meditate and contemplate And then the questions should reflect what was taught, not left and right random things that never talked about. When we ask about things we never talked about, then it seems like the things that we talked about flew over your head because you're too busy trying to think of something random to ask. So like in school, we were all in school, the teacher gives you 20 very difficult algebra formulas and then you randomly asking, the colour of a banana. And it's like, what about these formulas? Did you really get those? Because I didn't hear any questions from them. So before we keep going on, for the purpose of me talking for my own entertainment and to impress myself, which I try not to, then it's best to see if people actually understood what was discussed because of the immense depth of what's being understood and talked about. So whatever we talked about a year or 2 years ago, people should be aware it's happening. These technologies are within people, and these people who swore that, oh this is for our health, it had nothing to do with the health, and nobody got cured from any health. And then most of the people who didn't take it actually had a stronger immune system from any cold and flu. So this was a relationship and integration for business. That's why merchants were so excited. When was the last time a merchant ever cared about your health and your vaccinations and cold and flu? Every single business displayed that information. Why? Because they're very eager. Where now anything you want, its ad will appear to you. Then how much would that increase the sale of things? So this is a time in which we live in. So on the Dajjal side, now power of manifestation is coming. You want it, it appears. But wasn't it better to learn manifestation through Allah's way, where you connect your heart and understand what to ask for according to Allah's will in goodness and faith and love of Prophet and let that power manifest. Because now non-religious people are actually going to see how much power manifestation has. The people are thinking things and it's appearing on their phones. So imagine the one whom consciously connects their heart and asking Allah that to bring me closer to the love of Sayyidina Muhammad and the immense reality of that actually opening for people and their connection opening and their wave reality opening and lights coming to them, dressing them, blessing them and protecting them from every energy and energy field that surrounds us, inshaAllah.
SubhanAllah Sayyidi, scientists just announced that they have, just a couple of days ago, they have created a 6G in Japan which is 1,000 times faster than 5G and communication via holograms.
Yeah, you'll see it in the sci-fi movies where the phone call would actually make a hologram and you can talk and see the person just like we saw in our Star Trek movies or every type of sci-fi movie. So that technology was already given to them and they slowly introduce everything to humanity. And that we have to be a part of the wired network, and that's why there was so much eager desire to inoculate people, to put into people something. And it wasn't regarding a code, it was just the means in which to accomplish what was necessary to accomplish. But for now, what do you do with it? So those whom have that inoculation, then the phones are reading them. And if you build your energy field, build your connection to interfere with that energy field that's within people. So what do they have on energy? The secret service people, the mukhabarat people, they have an energy jammer because of these technologies. So either they put it on themselves or it's on a device, and wherever they go they jam the energy field so nobody can try to hack them and nobody can try to do this or to do that. That's also an energy device. So again, just like the physical world, the spiritual world has to have the same training, that if you want to block nefarious energies then we have to build the overwhelming power of our positive energy, and that's through the connections and the heavenly sources of energy which they don't understand, material people. Alhamdulillah for us. So it means this how much there is out there of realities of what we talked about. So it means that people are not really taking these talks and sitting and meditating and contemplating, and just we keep popping to the next subject, but you find that okay, did we really absorb what's coming onto this earth? And it's all related to energy. And you see that the videos are thousands of shares. So when people are propagating, when you send out the videos it's immense, because we don't know who's going to take that video and begin to share it, because they may be having issues, they may be having problems and nobody else is speaking about it. And then they say, oh, there's actually a shaykh in Islam and talking from the realities of Islam and how to address these issues, energy issues and all of these different mechanisms that are opening upon the earth, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, given that we live with coffee makers, microwaves, blenders and everything in the kitchen, should we have a place without technology in it, like a prayer area?
Yeah, you make an energy room, that's a portal. That's why the whole concept was that we're supposed to put aside an area in which we pray. So don't put anything negative in that area, don't introduce any type of negative energy, and then if you put all the talks together it becomes a portal. Then anyone who sets aside a sajada, a carpet for prayer, an area for prayer, sanctify and purify and clean that area and continuously meditate in that area, it becomes a portal for them. Because it's given that they're going to sit there, they're going to pray there and they're going to mention Allah. So the angels occupy that area, awliya that are passing, and that can be from the 7 categories of these pious souls. They occupy that area, they've come to pray in that sajada, in that room and in that space. So yeah, it becomes a portal of immense energies. And when we come home we wash, we change our clothes, we get out of our dunya attire and enter into our heavenly attire and begin to contemplate and go into the room to recharge, exactly like a portal. That I have to recharge and pull the heavenly energy and redo my battery and my connection. And the stronger the faith is, the stronger that room becomes. So this is the whole training, this is the whole understanding. That's why people go to a zawiyah, because a zawiyah is an immense portal. That's why they make a zawiyah in their home, that's why they turn on the zikr if they're not near the zawiyah. They turn the zikr in their home in a room, and that room becomes like a portal of energy. Because we create these fields of energy that become a sanctuary for us. As the whole world is attacking with all these different energies and energy weapons of microwaves, phones, and all of us are using them. It's not say, oh shaykh doesn't use this, no, we use everything. It's the life that we live and it's the only way to reach to people. But there is a system in which to protect ourselves and to try to defend ourselves against negative energies, and Allah gives to us, take one step, I come 99 steps towards you. So in the way of da'wah, in the way of this love, in the way of the ishq of the heavens, then we are existing in these areas where Allah wants us to exist, and we do our one step of our muraqabah, our teachings, our practices, whatever Prophet brought for us, and the rest is Allah's hands, Allah to protect us and to and shield us from every difficulty inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, so was the Internet of Things really an Internet of Jinn?
Everything is based on that reality that the heavenly kingdom and the understanding of the heavenly kingdom is an understanding of the world of light and the effect of the energy worlds on us in every aspect of life. So we talk a lot about it for people to become familiarized. So what you don't see is affecting you, what you don't see makes you sick, what you don't see makes you crazy, what you don't see makes you down, what you don't see can make you up, and what you don't see can make you euphoric. So everything has to be trained on what we don't see, and that's why the teachers of tariqah should be the teachers of light, not external teachers. So when they came to Shaykh Dagestani and said, teach us this hadith and teach us qiraat, and he says, you can go to 10,000 people like that, don't come to me for that. Means go to external teachers, sit with them to learn how to recite and do your qiraat, but come to us for realities because they can't teach you realities. So means spend the time that you have with the necessary teachers. If you want the realities of light then you seek out the shaykhs of the reality of light, and that's why they don't teach external, they shouldn't be teaching external. If they're a shaykh of realities and internal, the responsibility is to teach the internal. And they send the student, go learn your qiraat, go learn your memorizing someone else, and then come back to us for the haqqaiqs and the realities, because those are rare inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum dear Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, how do we know when we should take action in our situation to change it and when we should have patience and sit through the unpleasantness? For example, finding a different workplace for example.
Yeah, well, everything has its own connection, you make your connection, you do your meditation, you do your tafakkur, and when you find a new job you never leave one thing to enter into a difficulty. So you're on a building, say, I want to go to the next floor but yet the elevator is not on that floor. If you fall out, what happens? You fall out, you fall to the ground. So you don't leave a job that's paying you, Allah gave you this rizq, you don't leave it until you found a new door that opened. Because if Allah doesn't open only but that door, then you're going to be into difficulty. So you make intention, Ya Rabbi, if I can find a better place and this and this and this, and then you go out and look for it. Put your application, put out whatever your feelers, and somebody says, yes we will hire you, say, okay, I'm going to give this notice, I'm leaving. But you never leave one thing that Allah gives to you on the hopes of something you don't even know. So we never take a step off a cliff without there being a place to put your foot. So make sure that you're solid on what you're choosing and you can firmly put your foot on what you're choosing. Never sort of imagine I'll jump off into nowhere, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam.
Sayyidi, if we put our faith in action but are still weak servants, do these actions come and save us when we're under immense difficulty?
Every action saves. This is the whole concept of faith, the whole concept of religion. We talked last night that the surah that we're on is Zilzala. So now you contemplate Zilzala, that what within me is through my testing, because I'm like the earth, Allah's going to shake me. And when He shakes me, my reality is going to come out. Some may see the reality as good because they did an atom's weight of good. Allah describes that if you do atom's weight of good and the little tiny microscopic ant, so Allah is saying, this little atom's weight of good, because they didn't have atoms then, so that was a description of these little micro ants. If you do a deed to the extent of this little tiny creature, you will see the goodness of it. Means nothing is wasted by Allah. So of course our faith and action, this is what we're looking for, that Allah to reward us for these deeds. So go out and look for ways to do good deeds because that's your faith. Then Allah also warning in this zalzala, the people whom did bad they'll see the bad. So when their shaking begins, what comes out of them is not beatific, it's the horrific stench of a bad nafs, a nafs that hurt, a nafs al-lawama that enjoyed and sought the pleasure of destroying and hurting and harming people, which now you see, you hear it. On social media you literally hear the people of nafsa amara, they talk about the pleasure in harming, raping, killing and destroying people. These are the people of Jahannam speaking and enjoying Jahannam. They're basking in it, they're, oh so good, it's like this, and people are sickened by the way they talk. And this is what Allah describing, well now the shaking has begun, not everything that came out was going to be fragrant. The people who do good, beautiful lights come out, and the people who did bad and the bad actions, bad character, now when the shaking begins you see the extent of how bad and horrific fragrance they must have of their reality, that they take pleasure in the abuse of people, which is God's most favourite creation. Imagine the one whom abuses animals and he earns a place in hell, but abusing God's most favourite creation, وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي Adam. That's the immense importance, right? Because you see two people, three people where we said, well there's much grey because nobody understood who was who. But when you see everything is grey and Allah shakes it, what's happening? What's the concept of a shaking? You see a mountain, you said, this is such a beautiful mountain, and people love to go hiking. You know there's a Mount Baker in the vicinity of your area. You say from a distance, this is a very beautiful mountain. Oh wow, this is so amazing, until the day Allah opens that mountain, which they said is a super volcano, which the amount of volcanic plasma that's under Mount Baker like oceans, and when it comes out it'll cast this part of the earth into darkness. Meaning what? That when you see things you think at a distance, they look like a good person, what's the problem? Until Allah shakes the earth, shakes the world, shakes that mountain. You say, no that mountain wasn't so beatific, it was hiding immense horrific energy under it, and when that energy comes out it burns and destroys everything. Now what about humans that we thought they're humans, and the shaykhs keep telling you, no 99.9% are not human anymore. What they ate, what they did, what they believed made them to be possessed, and as a result now you hear the possessed ones talking, extremely violent, extremely horrific. They take pleasure in the abuse and the mutilation of people. This is not heavens, there's nothing to do with heavens. So we see with our own eyes and beginning to hear it, you can't imagine people talking like that. Allah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, with the world today, what should a person do who has lost interest in everything, just have no enthusiasm about anything, finding it hard to explain. Please help.
No, you keep your salawats and you should have enthusiasm to capture the attention of Sayyidina Muhammad. So if we tell you that the earth has an immense negativity, that's so that you don't think, oh I love the earth, I want to live 1,000 years. So you even hear that now where the people are saying that, oh you can take this vitamin you'll live forever, or you go to this blood factory and they take stem cells from youth and they rejuvenate your cells and your face, and they say, look this guy was 80 years old, he comes out looking like he's 20. So they're doing some horrific things. When Allah described them, they wish to live 1,000 years, literally they want to be here for 1,000 years. So when Prophet is teaching for us that don't leave this from your heart, and the only thing that should be in your heart is that we're going to conquer this dunya to raise the flag of our reality. So we're going to do the best in technology, we're going to do the best in all of these things where people work hard not for the sake of conquering the company and overtaking the company, but working hard so that we can make immense mawlids, immense books, immense articles, immense apps, so that we're gaining the attention for dunya hasanat wa akhirah hasanat. Means use this earth, this time we have to build your mansion in paradise. So with everything Allah's given to us, we gather people together and let's do it, let's build our paradise to be bigger and bigger and bigger and get the nazar of Prophet. And so mashallah we have all these youth come on, put all these articles, put these events, put these things and put the food and do the qurbans and immense, so that we get the nazar of Prophet. So no, we don't give up. Just because we're telling you the dunya is collapsing, it's not for you to sit down and do nothing, it's for you to actually get up, go out and do something so that you can give food and that you can get the attention of Prophet, get a job that pays good but don't put your heart into everything. So when they talk and they gossip at the work, just say, I don't care, put your salawats, take your check and go home. You don't go into a cafeteria and celebrate everybody's birthday and make it like, this is my second family. There is no second family, you only have one family, the other garbage you leave behind. Do your work, take your check, go home and give your donation, go out and buy your food, feed your family, do everything right and get the nazar of Prophet. So the shaykh is right, the shaykh is good, he's motivating people, go out and conquer, do everything necessary to be successful for your dunya and your akhirah. So we don't ever give up on dunya and just sit there and do what? Have no mawlid and then need more hunger than the people we're trying to feed? No. So this is not a escapism and it's not the way of becoming lazy, taking government aid and sitting on a couch doing nothing. We're not a people who take the aid from people. Don't take anything from any government agency, go out and earn your money, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Due to the current state of affairs in the world today, in the Middle East and all, we are under immense pressure from work and society with a lot of hate directed to us. How do we deal with it?
Be an ambassador of truth. That when you do your salawats and you do your practices, then anyone who looks at you may ask a question. Make sure that you give the right answer from what your shaykh teaches you. What do you think about this guy, this name of this thing? So I don't get involved in politics and you should ask the people of that country because that's their ruler, not my ruler. So we don't answer politics, we don't get involved in politics. And we say that this is a time, a dark time in which the badness of people and the bad character of people are being exhibited, and we're being squeezed like lemons to see who's sweet. And people want guidance, people want clarity, and avoid places and public places where lots of angry people and inappropriate places where inappropriate comments will be made. So people become more selective of where they go, not just going anywhere. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, is the bayah in both particle and wave reality? Can you please expand more on this, beloved Sayyidi? Please forgive my ignorance.
Yeah, I think if you want to understand the bayat in relationship to particle and wave, we said that in the wave reality when you come to listen to a shaykh and to study from the shaykh, not just from the 5 seconds of turning on the channel and then running away, but somebody whom their hearts are attuned to the reality, that attuning is from the wave, not from particle. So when you say, my heart is attuned to that person, that's completely energy. The vibration that you're emanating, if you're like jazz, ridiculous sounds that are all over the place, the movement of those sounds are so cacophonous, so disruptive that if somebody talking in a beatific way there won't be any harmony in the connection. So it means everybody vibrates on a frequency. So when you turn into a shaykh and your heart is at a certain frequency and you see the shaykh is speaking and it's resonating with you, it means the frequency of the shaykh is matching the frequency of the student. So it's like you listening, you turn on the radio and that sound is so aggravating, you quickly turn the station because its movements are disruptive to the heart. And that's how people feel. They say, oh, I don't understand what this man is talking about, I don't want to hear him for 5 seconds. And we listen to other people and I feel the same way, not even 5 seconds I want to listen to that person's voice. The energy that's coming from it is just way off for me and immediately switch. So when we resonate, what's happening? At the wavelength that person's emanating from their soul, the listener is attracted to it and feeling a connection. And then they begin to listen and listen and listen. As a result the bayat has already taken place because you could not have listened to his reality and understood that reality, entered into that reality if you were not from them. And we're talking the people of realities. If you listen to an external person there are no realities, there is absolutely no wave frequency coming out. If you listen to it, it's like the association of avocado seeds. You're listening, I say, I don't know what I'm kind of getting bored here, it's not going anywhere, and I change. There was no resonance. So even say, oh I like when this particular avocado seed speaks, no problem. You're listening, it's entertaining for you but there is no connection happening. But when you're attracted to a spiritual teacher and you're listening, means the spiritual teacher is a vibration coming out and the students are connecting with that vibration, understanding the haqqaiqs and the teachings of that vibration, and the bayat has already been established because you wouldn't be let through the door if you weren't from that reality. So then you later on decide, oh I think I should take even my physical bayat, I think I should take a bayat. That's from your nafs, that's not from your soul. Your soul was already connected when he listened to him. Otherwise your soul would have said, no, I have nothing to do with this, I don't know what this person is talking about. So as soon as the physicality decides it wants to take bayat with the shaykh, means the nafs and the particle reality has agreed to attach to the particle reality of the shaykh. Which alhamdulillah that's good that you're trying to discipline your nafs and to put the sort of control upon the nafs. But the initial one was through the wave, through the souls when we got connected, listened and felt an energy. Some people even have an experience where energy comes out from the video and hits them because they need a confirmation that they're connected to this light and the light that's emitting from the shaykh. Then when they bring their particle and submit themselves and admit to themselves, oh I want to take bayat, means they're telling their nafs, I'm going to submit myself to this way until my death. And that's why Allah says, don't break it because now you're making a bond that's on your soul. If you try to rip this, you're ripping it off of your soul and your covenant and everything is attached to that. So when people bring their particle and their physicality to take their bayat, then alhamdulillah it's a bigger step that they're actually admitting to bring themselves into guidance. But we have to know that if we're listening and feeling attracted to that vibration and that understanding, already our souls have been connected. And familiar souls, they gather together because they come from an ocean of familiarity. I believe they call uns in Arabic is a familiarity. They're like tribes, the souls they're like in tribes. When they come to the earth and you feel that familiarity is because you're from that tribe and that reality. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream, every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.